Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Well, the news has been so fluid, as they say, that, I had some last minute information to gather. Um, Boy, I tell you, I kind of thought we were going to head into like a quiet period after, all of that stuff with the Queen's funeral. But as you can see, it is anything but that. It has just been going and going and going. Who saw this lawsuit coming? But even though the fail has been uncharacteristically quiet as of late, you know, or should I say on this topic, but I tell you, I bet you somewhere they are out there scrambling trying to find um just the proper disposition, which of course they are going to come down on the side of sloppy and shady because they usually do. But oh, I tell you, this is going to be quite a pickle. And I, for one, am here for it. I am here for it. It is high time that they get their comeuppance. They have been the ultimate bully. They have been the ultimate bully. Um, you know, uh, you can make the same argument about Rupert Murdoch's publishing empire, but the Daily Fail somehow has become the most widely read English news publication, English language that is. And of course, this is at their admission. I mean, I kind of believe that that's likely true because for quite some time they have had such command of everything on the airways. It's rare that you can Google a story and they're just not the first thing that pops up. Now, I don't know if that's my algorithm because I have been guilty of frequenting the Daily Mail page, especially with work. But even before that, before I want to say it was around the time of Trayvon Martin, that was when I found the Daily Mail. And one of the things that I loved about it was the fact that they were so quick off the blocks with a story that a lot of times the grammar was very poor. And of course, if I can notice that someone is using poor grammar, you're probably really messed up. If I can find your grammatical errors, you're a disaster. You are you probably have a hit out on you from an English teacher from your school or whatever. But yeah, if I can find your errors, then you're pretty bad off. So that is one of the reasons why I favored the Daily Mail. And then once the Duchess of Sussex came along, then all of a sudden I was just like, wait a minute. Now, I didn't, honestly, I didn't notice that they had such a right wing slant until the Duchess of Sussex. I just thought they were just a basic garbage paper and that they just put stuff out there. So I didn't hold anything against them um, until they started targeting the Duchess of Sussex. And it's the same with the royal family. I was quite the Anglophile, and I guess you could say I'm probably still a bit of an Anglophile. But in terms of the royal family, the thrill is gone. The thrill is definitely gone. I don't and probably won't ever view the family, the institution, or anything to do with the royal family in the same way. I was brought in because of Princess Diana, because of the wedding back in 1981. And it took another outsider to that family to pull me away from it. And and that, of course, is the Duchess of Sussex. And I'm glad for it because it exposed that institution, that family, and dare I say, even the Queen. It really exposed them for who they really are. And it was a rude awakening, but I'm glad it happened because it's the truth. It's that thing that you just can't hide from. And so now that um, it's all out there, you just can't go back. And at least I can't go back. I don't want to go back. It's just, and that's why I always use the comparison of the Matrix because I feel like I was given the option, the red pill or the blue pill. And if you want to know the truth, well, of course, you go for the blue pill. But if you want to stay in the matrix, if you want to stay amused and happy and misled, then you choose the red pill. And if you choose the red pill, you what could I say? You won't ever be able to look at anything the same way again. So that is just a brief history of my connection to all things royal, the royal family, and why everything suddenly has, well, not suddenly, I guess this was over a period of time, how everything has changed so much from the way it was. And I'm glad for it. I mean, better to know. Knowledge is power. So um, there won't be any returns. We're at the point of no return because they have shown themselves for who they are, and I don't want to I don't want to go back in the matrix. I have been exposed to the truth, and it may not be pretty, but at the least it's honest. Um, yeah, and that's my take on that. And of course, I'm gonna say hello to a few people, and then we'll get started. And again, I am sorry for the lengthy delay, but I had to gather some news. I had to read a few things, and I would like to say I took a lot of notes, but I didn't. Well, I do. I kind of have them on the side. All right, so let's see. Mary H. Wright, they really showed themselves. It's such a shame too. It's an opportunity, that platform that the royal family have. And if you guys, I know like some people were like, Baron, I just don't agree with you. When I said, what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago, I said that conversations were had rather, and that promises were not kept. And I think one of the promises that they made to Harry and Meghan, when Harry probably nervously brought the Duchess of Sussex into this institution, was the promise that the two of them would have the opportunity to work with the Commonwealth, platforms that were near and dear to their hearts. They would have that opportunity. But when jealousy set in, those who pretend to think it was a good idea showed their faces, and maybe one or two people in the family who were their best chance to be able to work within the system turned their backs on them. I think maybe the Queen was one of them, and uh, I hesitate to say who I think the other one was because yeah, but I think that it seemed like a good idea until the Sussexes proved to be so popular and that they outshine the other two so easily and so effortlessly. Then all of a sudden, it was like, that thing we were saying, well, we need you to be 50%. That's the point that I was making. I believe that Harry was hoping for the best. I think there were many conversations between the Sussexes with the Queen, with Charles, with probably a few courtiers. This is how we're going to make this work. And it didn't work. That was my point. It was a few good intentions, mostly bad intentions. Some people who were plotting from the very beginning. But I just don't think it's no way that Harry would have brought Meghan into all of this if he had any clue that they were not going to live up to their promise. But they didn't. And this is why there is the lawsuits, not a lawsuit, but lawsuits. So anyway, hello, Rosa Roberts, Leslie Millsap. Hello to Phyllis Johnson, Sonia Johnson, Dorcas Baker, Sherry Ware, who wants to say hi to a bunch of people. Karen, did I say Georgia Walker? Legs wants to say hi to a bunch of people. And Joan Garcia wants to say hi to a few folks. Connie Balmer. Hi, Connie. Wants to say hi to a couple of people. Hello to Elaine Parker. Let's see. Audrey Teschner, Veronica Quick, April May, Marcia Ware, Betty Glenn. Let me see. Who else here? Lady Bird. Hello, Lady Bird. Jelaine. What is that? Monestein? Okay, and Fancy, Sonia H, Betty, hello, Jacqueline Squash, the official chaplain of Royal Sussex, and of course, who else do we have here? Well, oh my goodness, let me get started, you guys. There's a full house. I'm sorry I can't say hello to anybody else, but also, I want to say, Noreen Lovelock, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Also, thank you to Outsiders Perspective. Thank you for the super sticker, and thank you ever so much for watching Royal Sussex. I see a microphone. Are you also a content creator? That's interesting. I'm going to have to check you out. Wow, thank you. If you are a content creator, I'm even more flattered that you're here. Okay, let me. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I slowed down the chat. I only did it by 30 seconds, but maybe that wasn't enough. Noreen Lovelock says, Baron, if you saw the Queen's, saw the Queen, it tells you how they operate in that institution. They don't want a bright star. If you shine too bright, they will dim your light. Well, Noreen Lovelock, that there's a good argument for that because of the way they treated Margaret, Princess Margaret. Margaret was the bright light in an otherwise dim institution. Now, she had a reputation, hi B10 Pal, for being pretty rude to people and rather cruel at times. But otherwise, she had this public image of being a very big personality and someone who could draw people into the institution. But I saw something yesterday, right? Now, one of the things I hated about this interview is it was conducted by, I'm giving him the side eye as I say this, Max Foster. Max Foster has found himself in a lot of interesting situations with very famous people, and he always seems to follow the royals. Well, he had an interview with the Queen of Denmark, and I have to say, it pains me to think, and you know what? I, with all due respect to Prince Harry, I hate to say this, but Queen Elizabeth was such a drag on progress. She was really such a drag on progress. The Queen of Denmark, whether you like her or not, she sat down and gave an interview. She's not afraid to face the cameras. She's not afraid of modernity. Now, I hate that she took those titles away from those kids. I think that was totally wrong. But she had her reasons, and she wasn't afraid to apologize for it. She wasn't afraid to address it. She didn't just don't complain and don't explain her way out of it. But this interview was from 2012 or 2013 where she spoke about her respect for the crown princess. What is her name? Marie? And that she said, we get along well, we have a warm relationship. And I said, oh, I'm not going to use foul language, but I said, if only the queen, if Lizzie would have ever used that language with Princess Diana, would she still be here? But maybe it was just impossible because she didn't feel that way toward Diana. She would say it in a speech, but probably would never say it to her face. And that's why I say I see Queen Elizabeth as a terrible drag on the institution, on the country. So much progress was impossible because of a 96-year-old woman who was so rooted into everyday Britain that it stunted the growth of the country. And the sycophants who followed that institution, who believes in the Queen, will probably never see otherwise, but having a heartfelt conversation as the most important figure, the person on the money, the person on the postage stamp, the person who gives the Christmas speech, the most important person in the country, and the idea that you could say that you have a warm relationship with even your children is impossible. For what? For what reason? And so I didn't bring anything from that except for what I witnessed. I didn't do a screenshot. I don't have audio. I don't have video. But I cannot get that out of my mind. The Queen of Denmark sat there and spoke about how optimistic she was about the future of the Danish crown, of Denmark, and how she has a warm relationship with her daughter-in-law, and how I'm sorry, what was it? No, daughter-in-law, and how she's expects she will probably do extremely well, and just words of encouragement. Maybe she didn't feel that way, but what if Lizzie would have said that to Diana? What if she said that to Charles? Maybe he wouldn't be so screwed up. And that's why I say she was actually holding progress back. And because of that, and because of the lack of, I guess, tenderness for her own children, Charles is equally as pathetic. And then, of course, they made sure that they educated that William, that they, or should I say, raised him to be the same, like robotic, um, unfeeling, narcissistic, arrogant. They made him one of their own. So I don't know. I wanted to share that. It just blew my mind to hear a head of state, a constitutional monarch, or I guess that is a constitutional monarchy, someone who is an artist, someone who publicly has smoked cigarettes, who is a working person away from the throne, away from the affairs of state, to speak with warmth for any even with the act of stripping those kids of those titles, she still displayed more warmth in one single act. No matter how bad it was, there was more warmth, love, concern, trust in that one single act than a lifetime of Lizzie. I mean, that's just outrageous. And I shouldn't care about these things because I don't have to live there. But it just amazes me the difference between the two. The Queen of Denmark is what, 80 years old now? The Queen was 96. I mean, you know, the Queen was old enough to be a mama, I suppose, but it wasn't that much distance between their age and their generations. So, gosh almighty. Well, you know what? Maybe that's the difference between someone who has a romantic spirit, like the Queen of Denmark, and someone who was just raised to ensure protocol, like the Queen of England. Wow. I don't know. I can't get that out of my head. It was just so otherworldly, if I could say that. I can't stop thinking about it. Just to and the fact that she gave an interview. Queen Elizabeth didn't do interviews. She didn't talk about herself. She didn't talk about anything. And as far as I can tell, I'm still waiting for them to tell me that she's done anything. And you guys never hear me talk about the Queen like that. This is like a first. I just, I don't mind having a good laugh at the royal family's expense, but this is the first. But that's why I'm saying it just blew my mind that you could have someone so human, right, wrong, or indifferent, someone who was so human in comparison to this robot, this relic of the Edwardian age, a woman who was raised by her Edwardian, grandmother. Oh man. Oh, or well, yeah, her and her Edwardian mother. I mean, her mother was the last of the Edwardians. So the Edwardian era was awfully frigid and cold and distant, and the Queen was a product of that. And like I say, a lot of modernity, a lot of progress was held back because she was there. So, three cheers. That's all I can say. Okay. Anyway, let me move on. And yeah, man, I tell you, it had a profound effect on me. I will say that. You could probably tell from the sound in my voice. It had a profound effect because I just didn't think that that was possible. Um, and yet there was Margaret of Denmark, a real person. Interesting. Okay, Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex, and happy Friday to you. And okay, anyway, okay, let me take that away. And one more time. Philip, Philip. Okay. All right, you guys, I got that out of my system. Thank you for letting me vent. Um, Anyway, this happened. It was date night for the Sussexes. It was date night. And what a beautiful night it must have been. They were around a band from Hawaii that, well, I think there's like a sustainable something, whatever that means. But hi, Berta Sanchez. Okay. Oh, you guys are you know what? I'm gonna have to slow down the chat a little bit more than I already have. Let me do that because I can see this is really still going very fast and it is too fast. So I think I did 30 seconds. I'm gonna do 60 seconds. Sorry about that, you guys. Give me just 1 second to do that. Okay. Thank goodness I learned how to do this, huh? Where would we be if I didn't? All right. I think I got it. Perfection. All right, date night. Okay, so I'm gonna let you hear the audio. I did not have time to well actually I think I can do that. Yeah, I could show you. I could show you this lady. Give me an opportunity to bring that up. It won't take but a second. Oh gosh, I hope this doesn't go south on me. So that's that. All right. So I got that. And then I go back over here and I want to do a screen share. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, I'm wearing clothes, so that's not going to go wrong. Oh man, I am fully dressed, so that won't go wrong. And all right, and then back over here. Right, so you guys see what I see. Do you see what I see?
Night 2 at Santa Barbara Bowl. And guess what? We have a royal guest in the house. Are you guys ready for my bags? I'm just gonna say Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are in the house tonight. They're like waiting side stage, hang out, waiting for me to make friends, invite me over for tea, whatever's. Night 2 at Santa Barbara Bowl. And guess what? We have a royal guest in the house. Are you guys ready for my bags? I'm just gonna say Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are in the house tonight. They're like waiting side stage, hang out, waiting for me to make friends, invite me over for tea, whatever's. Night 2
Okay.
Santa Barbara Bowl. And guess what? We have a royal guest in the house.
All right, so that's that. Oh my goodness, I'm always so nervous when I do that. Always. I'm like always so nervous when I do a screen share. Ah, all right. So that went off without a hitch. Anyway, so that was their night. They met this nice lady. Let me see. What is her name, by the way? Okay. What's her name? Oh, okay. According to Royal Suitor, fun date night for Harry and Meghan at Jack Johnson concert at the Santa Barbara Bowl. They got to hang out with Hawaiian singer-songwriter Paula Fuga. Yeah, Fuga backstage. So, oh, and here's the link to her Instagram, right? Okay, it's pretty much the exact same photos. So yeah, I'm looking at her Instagram right now, and she has those has that on her. Okay. Oh, nice. Wow. You know what? Once you go to Hawaii, you'll wonder, why do I live anyplace else? You'll wonder that. Why do I live anyplace else? So okay, so that's who that is. Very, very nice. Look at our Duchess. Look, check out the outfit. Can't wait to find out what she's wearing. And of course, our prince is wearing his favorite suede shoes and chinos. Now, someone actually zoomed in on Harry's stomach. Harry, of course, has probably been eating very well these days because, well, I mean, let's face it. Uh, I think from time to time he's probably eaten his mother-in-law's cooking. Not to mention that Meghan is such a foodie. Okay, so I'm going to try to go through these. I'm going to pick them out at random. Trinette Mitchell says, does anyone know how to get a petition started and who you suggest to send it to? That blatant threat to Meghan's life was more than anyone, alleged blatant threat, than anyone can take, and something needs to be done. For the purpose of legal stuff, I have to say alleged, but I did see that video, and God, was that disturbing. Oh, was that disturbing? Very disturbing. If you don't know what she's talking about, I'll try to share it with you later. Hello, Miss V, Crown Princess Mary, married to oldest brother. Yes, she's married to the oldest brother, Crown Princess Mary, and the one whose kids were stripped of their titles, that is the younger brother who, you know, unusual is that he's so much taller than the crown prince, because usually it's the older brother that might be the taller one, but not this time. Okay. Oh, thank you, Connie Balmer. I'm not sure what I said, but thank you. No, I think I understand. Hope Garden says Baron Harry had no reason not to believe his family had good intentions toward. Okay, that's what y'all talking about. He and Meghan, it wasn't until he and his wife began to outshine the entire family. Exactly. That was the point that I was trying to make. Thank you for saying the Queen of Denmark is an upfront lady despite what she's done. I respect her for that. Queen Elizabeth is a non speaker, no personality, and without conviction. Yeah. I think that whatever training that the Queen received, Queen Elizabeth, to, you know, be that way, um, I guess they got their money's worth. I guess they got their 110 million pounds worth, because, yeah, she was unmovable, unmovable. Which, I can say that there is certain merit to that, but then at the same time, it really impedes. It impedes growth, not just for the individual, but for the family and for the entire nation in this case. That lack of emotion, or outward emotion, should I say, I think it was devastating for the institution and for the country. And it's actually going to be what brings the institution down. Is I think that the Queen planted the seeds herself when she gave that speech in South Africa, whilst pretending that there wasn't a genocide happening. Okay, Verta Sanchez says, you know what? If they are threatening, and Meghan is in the United States, so I think the FBI may be interested in that. Verta, that is brilliant. You're absolutely right about that. The FBI, the FBI does have the jurisdiction to investigate any place in the world. The FBI can open an investigation. Now, whether they have access is another thing, but they do have the ability to investigate whatever they want. It doesn't matter if it is a foreign country or whatever, does not matter. The FBI still wants to speak to um, Andrew, the sick old man. Rosa Roberts says, Baron, in the beginning, Max Foster talked nice about Meghan that were being against her, and then he got in bed with the other people in the UK. Exactly. Yeah, at first he was cool until he wasn't. He was cool until he wasn't, which is too bad, because, again, I say this, Max Foster, just like Robert Jobson, could be a pretty decent reporter, could be a very effective reporter if they did not make things personal, if they did not have a biased slant in favor of that institution. Now all their credibility is ruined. I mean, yeah, they look good in the eyes of the institution, but as the public, we are people too. I'm sorry, the speech that the Queen gave during Diana's funeral was so fake. She didn't speak until her vacation was over. Yes, Phyllis Johnson, I agree. It was all contrived, and I don't think she meant a word of it. The Queen should not have passed the monarchy to her son. She should have retired it. It's knew it was Charles was going to do. She knew Charles was going to do. She knows William doesn't have. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I think she stayed, because that's the only thing that she could ever have accomplished in life. That people would talk about. Oh, the 14 presidents, the whatever prime ministers, and all that kind of stuff. So that is her brand. That's her claim to fame. I'm still waiting to know exactly what else she's done, but all right, that's her kink. Stick with it. Noreen Lovelock says, Baron, the Queen was controlled by the men in gray coats. And remember, she was not educated, so she was always uncomfortable to make a positive decision. Yeah, that's something to consider. But my God, by the time you're 80 years old, It's, usually some very reserved people in their old age become, more gutsy, if you will. They tend to have more agency over their lives, and they tend to have that, you really can't hurt me mentality. And I don't think she's ever graduated to that point, at least not publicly. Was not taught to be warm and fuzzy. Nope. Warm and fuzzy for her was speaking of dogs and ponies. But that's enough about the Queen consort. Sheila James says Queenie was a very cover. What is that? Narc who callously destroyed the lives of so many lives, especially close to her, full of hateful envy, colder than ice and just backwards. Well, I'm going to say for sure she was pretty backwards. Cold as ice. I think she was cold, but maybe away from the cameras, she had a different personality into her old age. Um, Maybe Harry is suffering from Stockholm syndrome or something. Who knows? I mean, it had to. I mean, that's his grandma. That's his grandma, and he just sees her differently, and I can respect that. Naomi Maria says Barron in the year 2018 was the year Andrew's case associated was leaked, and William alleged was to press was just before the wedding. I believe that's the reason for the smear on Meghan. Yeah, the sacrificial lamb, as they say, they threw the Sussexes to the wolves. So, yeah, both things can be true at the same time. That it was a lot of jealousy and envy, and also it was very convenient because the Sussexes was just the beautiful, glamorous red meat that they needed to feed the beast. In other words, the tabloid press. Okay. I think I have missed quite a few of these. Thank you, Sheila Clemens McKay, for the super sticker. Thank you for being a member, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. B10 Pow, thank you for the super sticker. Happy Friday to you, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And Black Queen says, wow, the Queen of Denmark have an ounce of humanity compared to Betty. Darn, the bar is real low for those. Oh man, Black Queen, I was almost afraid, but okay, I'm gonna say that one was excellent. That was excellent. Nobody was maimed or injured in that one, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, Baron, and to all the squatties, I was a little nervous about Harry and Meghan and how he was doing after the funeral. But after seeing all the pictures from the concert last night, date, they good. Yes, of course they're doing good. They are doing good. Thank you so much, Sharon Marcia Lawrence Hunter. They are doing exceptionally well in spite of everything that they put them through. Ginger Lily has a super chat. Baron, I watched the video that Harry, Meghan, William, and Kate did together and started it all. That started it all, rather. The hatred, the plotting, the bad press to bring Meghan down. They could not compete with uh, the black girl magic. I got it. They could not compete with that black girl magic. Ginger Lily, something happened in that room that night, and you could see the look on William's face like, got a sharp one here. Got to bring her down. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, moving on. Let's see, Miss S. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday to you. Again, thank you for being here. You could have been anyplace else, but you decided to spend some time with us. So I have to say thank you very much. And again, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, please don't help these people rewrite. Oh, rewrite. There we go. Please don't help these people rewrite history as they are busy doing. The whole rejection of Meghan was covered by Tina and Michelle with receipts for 3 whole years. It is such a disservice to Meghan. Sheila James, I understand what you're saying. That was simply my opinion. It's not the whole story. When I say conversations was had, that is not the whole story. So I understand. I get what you're saying. What I said was just my opinion. It is not the whole story. I do believe that there were conversations had. But whether or not I put it that way or any other way, it is not the whole story. Plus, I'm not there. I don't have the inside information. It's just an educated guess for me based on what Harry said in their interview when they announced their engagement. That he spoke to her, he told her this is what's likely to happen. He hoped, he prayed, he asked the family. They engaged in, okay, you guys take the Commonwealth, so and so, so and so. It's not the whole story. So, yes, I get what you're saying. I am not in any way trying to change the history. I listen to Tina and Michelle every Sunday, just like a lot of people. But that version of things is just a small part of a much bigger picture. So there's no rewriting of history here, okay? Understand there's no rewriting of history. I'm saying for the particular period in that evolution of their relationship and the introduction to the family, I believe they made promises. I don't believe they intended to keep the promises. I believe simultaneously there were elements that were plotting to make sure they didn't marry at all. That is also true. But nobody's rewriting history. So I know this is a very touchy subject, but I cannot be more angry about this than Harry and Meghan. I can't be more hostile about this than the people who are the subject of this conversation. And so if Harry finds value in being a part of that family, then I respect that. If Harry decides to walk away from that family, I respect that. But I just believe that perhaps they were sold a bill of goods and it didn't work out. Maybe a few people had good intentions and that changed. That's just my opinion. This is a conversation. This is not a sermon from the mountaintop. We're having a conversation. So I appreciate what you're saying. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. QE2 statement when she got the power to serve the people was more to preserve her family's name and wealth, stolen wealth. Agreed. Agreed. Everything in the name of the crown. The crown first, not the people, seems to be the way of the day. Okay. And Charles says, hi, y'all. Happy Friday to our family squatties. The Queen was only good at driving her Land Rover with PM at Balmoral wearing wet boots, and they see that as humbling. Right. And wait, don't forget, eating off of Tupperware, eating out of a Tupperware bowl, and also building a cabin behind the castle so you could feel more connected to Scotland. I still can't get over seeing that cabin. I'm like, the Queen has a cabin? The Queen has a cabin? Why? You got a whole castle. So yeah, let me see here. I wonder if they had like armed patrol as they slept in their cabin, you know? Oh, that's strange. Okay, let me see here. I'm gonna have to do some scrolling because I know I am so far behind in the comments. Okay, Joseph, we need to hear a man's voice. Joseph says the Sussexes juggernauts just keep rolling along without missing a beat. They are all that and a bag of chips. Yes, sir. They are all that and a bag of chips. Thank you so much for your comment. Let me see. That's true. Willie's facial expression was frightening during that interview. Yeah, he always looks like he's like a bouncer about to remove somebody from the club. Okay. Harry said himself they knew it was going to be hard, but like Meghan, he too thought it was be fair, and that is what caught them off guard. Dara Edgehill, yes, 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 exactly. Exactly. That was part of the language they used. We knew, we knew that it was going to be hard. We knew, but as Megan said, but at the least I thought it would be fair. But when it proved not to be a fair fight, they left. Just that simple. They left. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Baron, I believe everything Harry tried, and so did Meghan. But again, they cannot handle the intelligent woman, and especially a woman of color. No way were they going to let that happen. Yeah, I think that there were just like several interests involved all at the same time. You got the two houses of Windsor who probably could not agree on much, but at some point they they got together in their conspiracy to hurt and injure, emotionally hurt and injure the Sussexes and to degrade them and humiliate them publicly. I'm pretty sure they agreed upon that. With that, they were probably unanimous, as Mrs. Slocum would say. Um, Mary H says, True Baron, nobody really knew how low life the royals really were. Prince Harry didn't know. How could we? You know what he hoped? He wished. When somebody tells you, yeah, we know things went terribly wrong for your mom, but we're going to protect her the same way we protected Kate. I think he believed that. He believed them. He was convinced that they were really on their side until they, proved otherwise. But he and then of course, could you imagine as all of this is going on and suddenly you notice that nobody in the family is speaking out. Nobody in the family is speaking out to save your dignity. Nobody is speaking out when they compared your child to a chimpanzee. Nobody is speaking out when they're telling flat out lies about your wife. And then I'm pretty sure suddenly things started, changing in his heart. And he's like, yep, just the same people, different day, same people. And yeah, that had to have been very painful to witness. But 18 months later, and they were out of there. Good call as far as I'm concerned. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm still on the first slide. There they are. There's a broader image of them. You can. I don't know who the guy is holding the little baby. Is that the lead singer? I don't know who the lead singer is. I honestly don't know any of these people, except for the Sussexes. But very sweet photo. Love that. Glad they're out having a good time. Glad to see the big beaming smiles um, all over the place. Date night for Harry and Meghan. They needed that. And why in the world did I have this picture like this? That's interesting. I hope I don't have another picture that's someplace it shouldn't be. Well, you guys be prepared to cover your eyes because who knows what may pop up. All right, so we're going to change gears. That was date night, and we covered a lot of other things beside date night. Archetypes has partnered with Ving. Now, Ving is an opportunity for people to submit the names of people who they think needs to come up financially. In other words, a gift, a donation. And so it's to encourage young people to be philanthropists. That's it. They have partnered with Ving, and so they have a fund that they will um, donate to people in the community that you think deserves a gift. And so that's what it is. And so archetypes, of course, you know how Harry and Meghan's archetypes always says, tell us your story. Well, this is another way that people can tell the story. And it's not the biggest gift in the world. Collectively it is, but in a small way, it is not. I believe it is $1,000 to change a life. So join Archetypes and Ving in Project in our goal of giving away $1 million. So we are thrilled to announce the Ving Project and Archwell Foundation are teaming up to expand our community of giving. Teens across America have a chance to join the Ving community and lift up a woman who is working hard and could use a financial boost. Nice Ving and Archwell partnership. Love this practical way for teens to cheer on a woman that inspires them and lift her up. Now, they are talking about this all over the interweb. And why wouldn't they? Because, of course, anything that involves the name of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is likely to be a very, very big deal. And, of course, this is no exception. Um, Oh, really? Okay, I'll bite into this one. Might be setting them up, knowing the people of Wales don't want that. Well, it you know what, 1960, it really won't matter because either way, William is going to be the sovereign. What's ever left of that um, influence that that family has, William is going to inherit that what's ever left. And so I'm pretty sure they will try to find some way to pass on that title um, away from Wales if necessary. They would much rather have people involved, but they could always have some ceremony within the walls of one of those castles and avoid any type of heckling or something like that. But yeah, I don't think that Charles is trying to set them up. Charles is trying to use them so that he could quickly get them in there to adapt that title for themselves and suppress a rebellion. I don't think it's going to work. You guys, I know I'm veering from this subject, but there is a Celtic connection. The Celtic people, the Celtic group is Scotland, Wales, Ireland. The Celts, the Celtic tribes, if you will, they have so much of their history that is intertwined away from Britain because Britain, well, not Britain, but England, because for a long time, England was the common enemy. And it seems that in some people's heart, England continues to be the common enemy. And so this is a cooperation, let's call it an alliance between the Celtic states of Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And so, even without the Prince of Wales title being bestowed upon William, I mean, he hasn't been confirmed. Well, this is what Charles has given him, but there's a ceremony that would take place in Wales. They may forego that ceremony. They may just forego that ceremony and just let him be the Prince of Wales, in name only, and have Charles sign the title. So they don't need to go there to do that. They would prefer that because it's a way to keep that alliance with the Welsh people. But it appears that there's a growing minority, or maybe even a majority of people who just wants to retire the title. It has nothing to do with even leaving the United Kingdom. It's just the title is an insult. It is a way to subjugate the people of Wales, and they don't want that anymore. But it is an alliance between the three states and the, let's call them, three tribes of people that are not happy about Brexit. They're not. You know what? I'm going to talk about that some more later. So, but I saw your comment, and I'm just like, oh, let me take that. All right, you guys. So I think we're good with the with Ving. So let's move on. All right. Oh, sorry. There we go. Check it out. Check it out. Venus Williams changing every game. She is in glamour and looking amazing. You would almost forget how she would look all dolled up and everything, because I don't think she does as many of those glamour shoots as Serena. But when she does, boy, howdy, check it out. Very beautiful. She still got it. I mean, honestly, I don't know how tall she is, but I don't see any reason why she could not have been a successful model. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. Well done. I cut off the outfit on the right side. If you saw the other part of it, you'd be like, yeah, you did the right thing. But still, the overall glam is on point. It is on point. So, anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Afro Annie was horrible to Princess Diana, and she was direct about it. She even admitted not liking her in an interview after Diana's death. Meghan is too similar to Diana, and she stood no chance. Yeah, it was really doomed from conception. Um, I don't know. Maybe the Queen was just like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. Let's hope for the best, right? For Harry's sake. Not that she was so excited about Meghan, although I think that there was a genuine affection between the Queen and Meghan. But affection or not, the crown and I think the Queen was raised to always defer to the heirs. She did that with her sister. She has done that with everybody in her life. And so I don't believe that Meghan would be an exception. So maybe she was charming to Meghan when she was charming, but when the heat was on, she probably just deferred to her upbringing and deferred to the crown. I mean, people are not one dimensional in their character. There are, times when people are more one way than the other, and sometimes people let their guards down and forget, oh, wait a minute, I am supposed to be a holy terror. Why am I talking to you? So that could also be true. But I don't think that Meghan is disingenuous when she says that there was a connection there, that she and Harry had a very affable relationship with the Queen. Now, maybe, as I mentioned before, and I know my maybes are getting me in trouble, but maybe toward the end, that was the only thing that the Queen had um, to look forward to, was her relationship with the Sussexes. And maybe, just maybe, as I mentioned before, as a 96-year-old woman, she was very subject to suggestion. I don't want to say elder abuse was at play, but I can't rule it out either. So who knows? Harry said, that's all I'm going to say is Harry said. He said things about his grandma toward the end of her life. And what if all of that is true? What if all of that is true? Okay, what if? No rewriting history, Sheely James or Shelley James. I'm just saying, what if that is true? Okay. Hello, Francia Mosley says, rumor is the Queen really did not like Meghan, but yeah, the crown was top priority. Yeah, that's it, and that's all. The crown was top priority. They always defer to the heirs. They always defer to the crown. That is on condition of your birth. Always defer to the crown and defer to the heirs. All right, so let's take a look at this. Duchess of Cornwall opens Daily Mail Chalk Valley History Festival, Salisbury, England. June 20th, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, meets Lord Rothermere as she opens the Daily Mail Chalk Valley History Festival on June 20th, 2022 in Salisbury, England. Well, if you notice, she's given a little peck on the cheek to Lord Nappyhead. Um, what a congenial relationship they have. And so, you guys, I thought about this yesterday and I was just like, wow. Um, that dress looks familiar. Yeah, it looks familiar. Lord Nappyhead, the worst of British values, posing as the best. I forgot which MP said that, but it was a Labour Party MP who famously said, the worst of British values posing as the best. So, again, I'm going to say this, do not confuse the British people with the British tabloid press. There are many people in that country who don't trust the tabloid media, who don't like the tabloid media, who hate the tabloid media, et cetera, et cetera. And so I don't think it's fair to condemn a whole society because of a publishing empire like the Associated Newspapers or the Daily Mail, Mail on Sunday, Mail Online. um, that doesn't speak for the whole country, and it's not fair to make that comparison. But I don't know how many people in the United States are going to get their pitchforks and things and baseball bats and go out and defend a British person who may have married into a family here. So people just don't do that, and I don't think the Sussexes expect everybody to jump up in arms and run out there in the street and beat their pots and pans on their behalf. But quietly and discreetly, there's a lot of people who don't like what's going on, but they're just not as vocal about it. It's a silent majority of people who gets what's happening. And we noticed during the funeral that those people were speaking out. That is why Good Morning Britain got in trouble the other day, was because people were fed up with all of this stuff, all of the mistreatment. They were fed up with it. And I know things are not moving fast enough for everybody's sake, but protect your mental health. Protect your mental health, because you don't want to be in a place where you're unable to speak up for the Sussexes. And these are very, very heavy topics, and it's very painful. And some of us have lost sleep, but protect your mental health. The Sussexes are doing everything they can to protect theirs. I suggest that everybody else do the same. And then when you're better able to fight the fight, then do it. But when you feel like, a lot of times I share stuff on Twitter because I know people on Royal Sussex or the other platforms will see it, because to protect your mental health, quite a few of you all said, oh, I don't go on Twitter anymore. I get that. And you shouldn't. If it is going to cause you anguish and pain and distress, don't do it. Don't do it. And if, since we were speaking of Tina and Michelle earlier, even Tina was saying one day, get out, get some air, go for a walk. Don't let this stuff pull you down. This is why Tina and Michelle had to take a break from it. They'll come back from time to time, I'm sure they will. But even they had reached a point of saturation. And the Sussexes are no longer in that institution. That's what Tina said. They're no longer in that institution, and they have voices of their own. So we are here to uphold and support them. But again, we cannot or should not be more angry than they are. So Harry has filed a lawsuit. Let's just wait and see what happens. We're still going to pull out our receipts. We're going to correct things, but don't have a nervous breakdown. You will only hurt yourself. Okay, so right here, this is this is one of the things that was like dragging the start of Royal Sussex today. I was dragging because I mean, it took a while because this happened. Um, they essentially tell advertisers that their ads are running on Daily Mail content, while really your ads could be on GB News the whole time, and it's a form of ad fraud, allegedly. Wow, this seems like something advertisers should be informed about. Well, thanks to this, in part to the squad, they will be informed about it. Woo! They will be informed about it if the squad has anything to say about it. Since we're all talking about Daily Mail, here's something new for you. Daily Mail has been secretly selling ads for GB News, a company it frequently covers and defends in its own pages without ever disclosing that they are GB business partners. GB business partners. Isn't that a coinky dink? I mean to tell you, Royal Suitor, among others, have receipts posted on the Twitter. So there you have it. There you have it. Um, again, trust the process to play its way out. Don't have a meltdown. Things are moving very fast since Lizzie made her transition. Things are moving very fast. I keep saying I'm amazed at how fast things are moving, but they are moving fast, and it's not exactly at lightning speed, but we're getting there. We are getting there, and this is just another example. It seems as though the tables have turned on the national bully in the UK, and that, of course, is the Daily Fail. It seems as though things are changing for them. How advertisers inadvertently bought TV ads on GB News and what it says about the media. Well, when veteran broadcaster Andrew Neil, GB News, came to our screens, loaded with scores of household names, advertisers apparently undeterred by boycott pressure from social media activists, all looked rosy for the channel until it emerged many of those brands had no idea they were advertising there. Media editor John McCarthy explains how that's possible. Well, you'd have to go to, what's the name of this paper? I'm going to let you go to The Drum. It's an online paper, I suppose. But that is where that is sourced from, The Drum. And they lay the story out in detail. So it's kind of lengthy. So I'll let you have at it. But this is just like you know how they say the other shoe dropped? Well, yesterday there was the lawsuit, and then today there's this revelation about their advertisers. And as you know, when you have a contract to advertise, let's say with a television station, radio, news, whatever, in that contract, if there's anything that can cause harm or embarrassment to your product or business or whatever, anything that will distract from your image, like this scheme of theirs or alleged scheme, then of course that gives you an option to end the contract. So that is just one way to deal with these things. So anyway, as I said, I was looking at that photo of her with Lord Nappyhead, right? And so I said, that's where I've seen that dress before, huh? That's where I've seen that dress before. Take a look here. Uh-huh. It was that very day. When you sell your soul to Satan, it takes a lot out of you, apparently. I mean, all of this selling your soul to the dark side has taken a toll. So now I understand why she looks so withered. That explains it. Now, mind you, she has enough darkness in her soul so she knows how the game is played. I tell you, this is one of the few people that I call on Veterans Day that has never been in the military. I think you understand what I mean. That's a vet right there. So this is one of the few people that I wish a happy Veterans Day, but I don't thank them for their service. But this is a vet right here, so she knows how it goes. She knows the drill. She knows. You understand what I'm saying? She understands, and so she did what she had to do, and then she went home. All the worse for wear. So that particular vet, and from what I hear, her great grandmother, I believe her great grandmother served as well. So happy Veterans Day. Every day is Veterans Day for her. Happy Veterans Day, Queen side piece. Queen Camilla, Queen Camilla, Queen cohort, consort, Camilla. Happy Veterans Day. You wait. What is that they say? You've come a long way, baby. You've come a long way. Anyway, and then there's Liz Truss. One of my obsessions these days is Liz Truss. Liz Truss is a bit of a curiosity, and I tell you, it's like a train wreck. I can't look the other way. I can't. Oh, Noreen Lovelock says, Baron, in England, we say an old dog knows all the tricks. Whatever do you mean? I'm confused. Whatever do you mean? Wait, that's somebody's mama. That is somebody's mama. That is literally somebody's mama. Po kids. But that's somebody's mama. All right, so so Liz Truss, is she deliberately trying to destroy the United Kingdom? The woman who once spoke against the monarchy, someone who appears to be a bit of a what do you call it? A Republican, that is a British Republican, someone who believes in an elected head of state. Ironically, she wasn't elected herself. She is a product of the Daily Mail. Everybody agrees that her position was made possible because of Lord Nappyhead's Daily Mail. She's a product of the tabloid. But the tabloid has a very symbiotic relationship with the crown because it upholds their values. And of course, there are some people who argue that they help to uphold white supremacy. I have never heard people use the term white supremacy as often as I did after after the Queen died. Isn't that something? How many times have you heard the term white supremacy used until the Queen died? So I am just like, that's why I keep saying, you guys, I'm so confused at how fast everything is moving. Thank you, Mystic Toxin. I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching Real Sussex. I'm so amazed at how fast things are moving. Liz Truss, if you haven't seen the videos, she was just like, we don't need the monarchy, in so many words. And so take a look at this. Okay, who in government opened their mouths about midday? Liz Truss did this. Liz Truss did this. First, she met the Queen, and we all know how that ended. And then this. If anybody is going to destroy the institution, it's Liz Truss. Because if people are poor, if people cannot heat their homes, they're not going to give a toss about any royal family. Liz Truss is a one woman wrecking machine. She is literally going to destroy the institution. She's doing more harm, along with her chancellor or whatever. The two of them, you take something that's not broke and you break it. Look at what they're doing to the economy. I mean, I love that. Who in government opened their mouths about midday? Because whoever did that, there goes the economy. Wow, just wow. Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody trash it quite the way you do. Baby, you're the best. But you know what, guys? I'm having fun with this, but it's really not funny because apparently the value of a mortgage has increased so that people have to pay more for their mortgages. I don't know how that works. But because of take a look at this one right here. Russia is the only major country with lower projected growth than the UK next year. Russia is underwater. The UK is projected to have zero growth. And Nicola Sturgeon wants out. She wants out. She has not even had a conversation with Liz Truss. Liz Truss has not called her. She said, I've had a working relationship right off the from day one with every British prime minister. Now she's on her fourth prime minister. This is her fourth prime minister. Nicola Sturgeon is referred to as the first minister in Scotland, not the prime minister, but first minister. And this is the first time that she hasn't had a conversation with a British prime minister. What are you doing? What is she doing? This is crazy. I mean, literally will not pick up the phone and talk to her. Yeah, Pamela Melissa Davies, she's a jinx. She really is a jinx. And again, my only thing is the working class people, the people who need to survive whatever is coming out of that government. I don't care about the rich people. I care about the working class people because they're the ones that are going to suffer. They are the ones that are going to take the hit. They are the ones that are nervous about getting through this winter. Speaking of which, they're saying that the winters may actually have blackouts. They may have the power down for a few hours a day this winter. In the United Kingdom, they may have to cut power. Have you heard of such a thing? Let me see. Lizzie Truss appears to be jinx. Seriously, the woman is totally a jinx. Everything she touches will turn to dust. Lightning, yes, rally plan for Indy referendum court verdict. So they are going to move forward at some point with a referendum in Scotland. They are going to move forward with a referendum to succeed or exceed or whatever from the United Kingdom. They want back into the European Union. You can see the Scottish flag with the stars of the European Union. Man, oh man. So you guys, like I said, things are moving fast, and I'm not exactly cheering the destruction of anything that is going to harm the poor people. And you know that, of course, the poor people are going to be the ones to really take the brunt of whatever is coming down the pike. But I also believe that things are going to change dramatically for the royal family. I really do. Yep. I really do believe that we are witnessing the beginning of the end. I just did not expect it to come this fast. So, Scotland independence, independent Wales, United Ireland, they are coming. This is that Celtic connection that I referred to earlier. These are the Celtic states of the United Kingdom. These are the countries within the United Kingdom that have that Celtic connection. Everything from the red hair to the what do you call it, the harps, the violins, there's so much cultural things that they have in common, and a lot of that, of course, is contempt for the British crown. Oi, come back. Oi, come back. You hear me? Come back. All right, so there it is. Daily Mail is being sued for the most serious illegal newspaper ever, including allegations of burglaries and landline tapping by Prince Harry and 6 big household names. This is what we were waiting for. Okay, so let's move on here, shall we? Prince Harry, Elton John, and others sue Daily Mail publishers. The UK Prince Harry and singer Elton John are among the several public figures suing the publisher of the Daily Mail newspaper over alleged phone tapping and other breaches of privacy. Now, on the right is the front page of the Daily Mail, where they seem to publicly, in the court of public opinion, they brazenly branded or brandished the images of the 5 accused murderers of Stephen Lawrence, right? The Daily Mail accuses these men of killing. If we were wrong, let them sue us. Now that's very, very bold. If we're wrong, let them sue us. So I believe 2 of these 5 men were convicted, but they also, on the other hand, and you know what? This was big news. This made a lot of money for them. This was big news. But on the other hand, they are accused of actually, I guess it was bugging a location, a coffee house or whatever, where Stephen Lawrence's mother, and Stephen Lawrence, of course, was African American, and he was said to have been killed by these individuals that you see on the newspaper. They bugged a room where his mother was having a conversation with someone. They thought that possibly she had ties to like a Black Power movement or Black Power Rangers or something. I don't know. It's weird. But look at that. Now that is from the oh gosh, let me make sure I can see that date up there. That is from the Guardian. This article is more than 7 months old. Well, I found that in my receipts today. That hoghead Piers Morgan must have known about Daily Mirror phone hacking, says lawyer. Um, this is just the start with the Daily Fail. Because don't forget, victims' lawyers are seeking financial records related to Morgan's time in charge of the newspaper. Pierce Morgan must have known of voicemail interception and other unlawful information gathering techniques when he was editor of the Daily Mirror. It has been claimed at the High Court. So there is a whole institution that is going to unravel because of, as I say, I think this is just the start. This is just the start. But they have accused the Daily Mail. The Mirror has been accused. The Sun has been accused at some point or the other. And we are going to see these people skewered not only in the court of public opinion, but in courts of law. So something is changing. And so I love the fact that on the one hand, you got this, but let's go back over here. Let's look at where we started today, right? Let's go back to the roots of today's uh, Royal Sussex. Look at Harry out there last night having a good time, like a baller, just having a good time, unbothered, unconcerned, not worried, living his best life in Montecito where there are no leaks. And then you got Lord Nappyhead, who is probably all frazzled right now, who's probably getting out his best no lie relaxer so that he can so he can add some texture to his hair or add more texture to his hair or something. But this is like a very bold beginning for what may spell a big change, if not the end of the tabloid press as we know it. It is so going to happen. And we are going to witness it because I promise you, things are moving so much faster than, there we go, than I ever thought possible. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear that echo, but I need to retrieve something. And the only way I can do it is by doing this. So just bear with me for just a second. Okay, wunderbar. So, I mentioned earlier the Matrix. Oh, by the way, let me close the other one out. When an African American All right, I think I'm back. All right, so just like in the movie The Matrix, I picture Harry like Neo. Neo took the blue pill and he removed himself from the Matrix. only so that he could stop all the West weapons that were being used against him. And so there, if you remember the movie Matrix, Agent Smith was trying to take him down. And oh, thank you, V. But yeah, that was totally me. Sometimes when I try to open up something else on the StreamYard, I have to open another StreamYard screen and then close out the other one so that I can upload from the slides. I know, crazy, isn't it? If I don't remember to bring all I need at the start of it, then I kind of miss out and I have to do that. So, but yeah, that is what happened. That was totally me, you guys. It's not your sound. Wait a minute, like a bad date. It's not you, it's me. That's what they say when they want to break up with you. It's not you, it's me. Uh, anyway, um, and of course, the Oracle, or as I call her, Oprah. Not quite what you were expecting, right? The Oracle, of course, helped to show Neo the way. And so Tyler Perry in this example is Morpheus. So Morpheus, the Oracle, somehow they have managed to get Harry out of the Matrix and into real life where he belongs. So that is just my comparison for what has saved the Sussexes from that dreaded family and institution. And one of the squaddies posted this on the Twitter earlier. This is like the scene of any action movie where you kind of, you know, blow up the I guess the villain's headquarters or whatever, and you just kind of walk away. So I thought that one was kind of funny. And what's the next one here? And of course, the escape from Shutter Island. They made good their escape, and of course, they took off and went to Montecito. And of course, as we often say here on Royal Sussex, there are no leaks in Montecito. Okay. And while all of this is going on, don't forget, you guys, the Sussexes are incredibly busy. These are just some of the projects and causes that they have been maintaining since they got to California. And so, even though we may take time out to try to crush a tabloid media newspaper, they still have day jobs. So, let us not forget that Harry and Meghan, they still have their day jobs. That work continues. So, this is just, a little bump in the road, but everything else that they're doing continues. So let me see. All right. This is very odd, but King Charles has hired a full time bagpiper. He hired a full time piper. They're saying this is just another one of those ways to remember exactly how out of touch that institution is. Every morning at 9 a.m., the bagpiper is going to pipe his tune beneath King Charles's window to wake him up. This is a long running tradition with the monarchs. And anyway, the Queen had one also. And of course, we are still, we almost forgot about this, didn't we? We almost forgot about this woman putting the power grip on Duchess Doolittle and telling her, nice to meet you, but it would be better if you were at home. Ireland is for the Irish. I still can't get over that one. All right, you guys, I am done. I am done. And I hear that the Duchess of Success is on. So if you guys want to skedaddle over there, I'm not going to stay on any later because I have some projects I need to work on. Ooh, we got a troll in the house, huh? That sounds intriguing. Huh? Anyway, If you have any final thoughts or anything that you want to share, anything we haven't talked about at this point, please do share it with me. Otherwise, I am going to move on. But before I go, I do want to share this with you guys. I said earlier, and I still believe it to be true, it's almost easy to forget this, but not everyone in the UK is against the Sussexes, and I know that most of you all know that, but there are some people who have kind of, you know, seen things differently for obvious reasons. But let me share this with you. I've shared it before. If you guys want to take off and get over with Anne, go ahead. I am going to close it out very soon. But for those of you that stay, um, catch this number, honey. Who was paid by the British tabloid media and or trolls to go to the UK to bash the Duchess of Sussex, allegedly paid, allegedly to bash the Duchess of Sussex. She goes to the UK and she just happens, they say, to come across a producer of the Dan Wooten show, and they began to bash the Duchess of Sussex, but they were only interrupted because two women, two females that appear to be British women that also seem to have been white women, were not having it. They gave these two the what for. So just to warn you, the video was heavily edited, so it's not a direct, continuous conversation. However, the first lady that spoke, I have highlighted her text in royal blue, and the other woman is in a bright red. And so those were the only words that were highlighted, since they were not speaking into a microphone, but the other two were actually recording their session that they just, quote unquote, happened to meet each other on the train. They were recording this so-called surprise meeting, allegedly surprise meeting, on the train with one another. And so these two ladies overheard the conversation, and they were having none of it. So it may be difficult to follow. You may want to watch it twice, but here goes.
Well, what about the accusations about the Brits being racist? What did you think about Meghan making that accusation?
That's not absolute nonsense. We described her and the marriage as magical, described her as beautiful. We celebrated the diversity.
I think she wanted to leave from the very beginning.
Well, if you look at her history of sort of social climbing and whatever else, yeah, it would make sense to me.
You should really think about some of the language that you're using. Social climbing.
Sorry.
I found your language.
Then you can leave, lady.
Can I?
I'm not leaving.
Can I?
I'm not leaving. I'm just letting you know.
Don't come over here telling me what I need to do, because you're offended.
I'm not telling you what you need to do.
Yes, you just told me what I need to do.
I'm sitting here.
I need to watch my language, is what you said.
She's dealing with sensual.
Look, man, we're
of arcane.
Well, she should have never married into the family.
Why can't she?
Look at this Sun front page from the day she was married. History. Harry and Meg's historic change for monarchy. Get that on camera. The Daily Mail showbiz editor.
Successful woman.
Nothing to do with her being African.
Of any colour. Any woman.
What's me calling her a social climb got her to do with her race?
Pejorative, it's a really nasty.
What are you talking about?
It's like coming across as a victim.
Yes.
Seriously?
You see people as victims. You're a victim of our language. You're getting offended for people having a conversation.
You're a victim of tabloid language. I think people are a victim. You're right there.
You would say that because you're a victim in chief.
So, yeah, that was actually something that was played on Dan Wooten's show, and I couldn't use the video, obviously, but I shared the audio as best I could. But these two ladies on the train were minding their business. They were not women of African descent, but they had heard enough of it. They've heard the song and dance playing right out in front of them with an American woman of color, a black woman herself, who was given a round trip ticket, I imagine, to go over there, allegedly, a round trip ticket. She was paid to go over there and appear on the GB News so that she can slander the Duchess of Sussex. And that is what she does every day for a living, is slander the Duchess of Sussex. And she's not the only one. There's someone in the Caribbean that you've probably seen before. It's really sad. It really breaks my heart to see a woman of color, a black woman, engaging in something like this. The most vulnerable, the most demonized in society, the black woman, being attacked by other black women. The most demonized in society. There are no free rides. There's no handouts or anything like that. You're not going to just show up, and you have to, work really hard to not only to make a living, but to be respected. And you have another black woman, which of course is why I was very I would just say very disappointed with Wendy Williams, because her talent was trying to demean other black women, or to try to keep it going, as they say. And that is, you would even leave your nation of birth to go over to another country to do something like that to someone who was someone who is actually helping this $1 billion industry, just simply by breathing every day. The Duchess of Sussex, uh, unwillingly, is helping that industry stay afloat just because she's here. That's all she has to do, is just even the existence is enough for them to keep making money. And all she has to do is breathe. And that's why it's so upsetting about the comments that were made on that one talk show. And anyway, that is it's a tough day. Even though I feel like so much is changing, it is still not safe for the Sussexes. It's not safe for Archie and Lily. Not safe, in particular, for our Duchess. It's just no place that's really safe for them. So we have to keep watchful. We have to keep our receipts. We have to make sure that without, affecting our mental health, we have to engage whenever possible. Um, Harry is living his best life in Montecito. The Duchess of Sussex is trying to put her life together and live her best life in Montecito, having been vilified by a whole nation of, or should I say, a whole industry of reporters, and of course the people within the royal family and such. So she was vilified to a nation of people by reporters, is what I meant to say. So it is still a lot of work, you guys. So I don't want to imply that we can let our guards down, because we cannot. It is still so much work to do. We can have fun with it, though. Let's have fun with the fact that for now, the tabloids seem to be on the run, but they're not defeated. They're on the run, but they're not defeated. So here's another one of those fun photos from the Twitter sphere. And as you can see, Harry even tried to make peace with his stepmother. Even, I tell you, shady to the end. I forgot I had that photo in there. But yeah, Harry tried to make peace, and it just wasn't possible. He offered him his hand, and they, figuratively pulled a weapon on him. So, all right, you guys, that is it. I am going to bid you all a farewell. Please make sure you get your last thought of the days together. And of course, as per usual, we can thank the two queens for the Sussexes. And that, of course, is our queen of everything, Queen Doria, and our queen of hearts, Princess Diana. And let's see, to close it out today. Oh, the donations. Almost forgot about that. Let me see. All right. Thank you, Audrey Teschner, Noreen Lovelock. Thank you, Outsider's Perspective. Thank you. H. Knight, 6 months. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Sheila Clemens McKay, thank you. B10 Powell, thank you. Ginger Lily and Miss S, thank you all so much for being here. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Keep up the good fight, you guys, and protect your mental health. And don't forget, yes, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so there is a lot of ways that you can help within your community. And some of you may even be able to help the cause within your own families. But whatever the case may be, just make sure that that you are doing something, make a phone call, reach out to people, whatever it takes. Yes, thank you so much, Sash. Please hit that like button. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please share this channel with anyone who you are hoping is a squatty deep inside and they just don't know it. This may be a good place for them to start, or they may end up running for the hills, but I'll try to keep them. I'll try to keep them. Oh, thank you, Leslie Millsap. I love our time together, too. I really do appreciate it. As a matter of fact, that looks like an ending to me. So Leslie Millsap is giving us our last word for today. She says she loves our time together, and I could not agree further. So thank you so much. And let's avenge ourselves out of here because we got stuff to do. I'm going to be dog sitting this weekend. I'm so excited. I haven't been excited since Oprah's farewell season. So I have to get ready for my canine companion for the weekend. God, that never gets old. I love that. Well, hello, Akumba, Sylvia, Oeshe, Namuo. Hello and welcome. Thank you for coming here to Royal Sussex. But yes, we are about to leave, but I appreciate you being here. Everybody is gone over to Anne's house for the Duchess of Success. Here, let me help you out. I'm going to give you the link so that you can go over there and hang out with everybody over there. But thank you so much for being here. Let me get the link for you. Happy Friday to you, by the way. Let me see here. Wait, nobody help me. I got this. Nobody help me. I got it. I got it. Oh wow, and she's talking about Valentine Low right now. So y'all get on over there cuz that's going to be good. She's talking about that Valentine Low thing. So here is oh wait, that's her channel. I got to get back to my channel. I was just about to try to post this on her channel. I've done that before, you guys, where I was like, how come I'm not able to pin this to the top of the chat? I was on her channel. Okay, there you go. Got it? So anyway, she's talking about Valentine Low. So y'all get on over there so you can watch the rest of it. And I'm just going to close the shop. That's okay. I'm just going to sweep up a little bit here, empty out the trash cans and put the rest of the dishes, change out the garbage bags, for tonight and everything. And, and have everything prepped and ready for the morning shift. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. You guys can tell I've worked in retail before, right? Oh, we may need to change the wrench to hammers. Yeah, right. Now, was there a troll earlier and I missed that? Because I only did one day for today. So if there was a troll, I missed that. I missed a lot of the conversation that was going on. Let me see. Okay. So long, JSC. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, yeah, I got to put the sign on the door letting people know we're closed. And then, of course, when somebody reaches for the handle, you have to look to the door and be like, well, you kind of mouth it like, we're closed. What? We're closed. Like nobody understands that universal sign that we're closed. We're closed. Come back tomorrow. Yes, come back tomorrow. We're closed now. All right. Yes, 8 a.m. Come back tomorrow. Oh man, get off the bus, Gus. Don't be coy, Roy. Just leave me the key, Lee. Don't give me no fuss. Just slip out the back, Jack. Go get on the bus, Gus. Don't be coy, Roy. Oh man. All right, 709 people. I tried to tell you I'm done, but y'all still here. Oh, really? Oh, okay. By the way, I took care of those projects, Lydia Washington. I think I have. I don't have a notification for when I get messages because I do some screen recording with my cell phone. And sometimes when I'm doing that, I will be, getting those, notifications and it messes up the video. So that's why I don't use that notification. I turned off all my notifications except for the phone to ring because I use my cell phone to do the recordings. It's just easier than trying to do it on a PC. popping in late, we're done. Everybody's gone over to Ann's for the after party. But thank you so much for being here. Oh, you will catch up later. Thank you so much for that. Well, anyway, Vampire Night 1972. There was some forms of nudity earlier. I can't explain it. I don't know. There must be something in my cookies, but enjoy it. Oh man. If you turn into a pillar of salt, I know that you've seen that part. Sure, Pam Porter. All right. To be honest, you know I don't hardly ever go on Patreon, but I will check. I will check. But I do think it's there. I do think it's there, but um yeah, I don't look at the. As a matter of fact, I've been really considering closing out the Patreon and just relying on the YouTube because it would just, it because the Patreon, what Patreon does is that it obligates you to maintain another channel, right? Not a full and complete channel because you can link videos from this channel, but essentially is like double dipping. You're doing like the same thing in terms of gaining support for the channel, but you're going through another resource. Now, I know that some of you all have received gifts from Patreon. I still don't know what those gifts are. I mean, that's how involved I am. I don't even know what those gifts are. So, and I've asked a few people, I'm like, well, what did they send you? And nobody ever gives me an answer. So I don't even know what you guys are getting from Patreon. So if you guys need to hide something, don't get a safe deposit box at the bank. Don't cut open your mattress. Put it in my Patreon. Trust me, nobody will ever find it there. I never look at it. So, I tried, but it was just too much work. It was too much work. I'm like, I ain't got time for this. This is too much work. I could be working on Royal Sussex while I'm fooling with Patreon. But yeah, I'm gonna do some recorded videos soon because I miss doing my recorded videos, my edited videos. Those are so much fun. And you guys, the one from the Queen's Tomb, do you guys know that people are still watching that at a rate of about 20,000 views a day? 20,000 people a day are still watching that video. I have videos here that don't get 20,000 views. Oh, you guys, I got to tell you, since y'all still here, let me tell you what happened to me last night. Have you guys seen that big bubble-headed antique dealer? There's an antique dealer that gets about maybe 5 or 6 views per video. And then one day she started talking about Meghan and Harry. And then all of a sudden she got all these viewers because she is one of those people that perpetuates hate. Y'all might know who I'm talking about, right? So I actually went and looked at her, information to see exactly how many views she gets for hate compared to how many views she gets for antiquing. And I'm not saying any names, but I know how many views she gets for hate and how many views she gets for antiquing. And she gets like tens of thousands of views, like 70,000 views for hating. And yet for her antique part of the business or channel rather, she gets like, oh, I don't know, maybe 300 or 400 views. Well, anyway, Christopher Bosey has been on to her. And so now listen, this is why I don't want to say any names because I don't want to slander anybody, but she has set up a legal fund where people send her money and she puts that money into a bank account. Now, I'm going to say full disclosure. She says that there is full transparency. There's full transparency for that account. I don't know. I don't know where the money goes or anything like that. But she claims that there is full transparency and that she only has this account because in case somebody comes after any of the hate channels, that they will be able to retain a lawyer. Let me say that one more time. People send her money so that she can put that money on account. She claims that it's around, I want to say, under $12,000. And she, among other people, are terrified of Bot Sentinel. She is terrified of Bot Sentinel. Bot Sentinel keeps her up at night. And so you guys, I tell you, what I did was I erased all of it from my history so it won't feed the algorithm back to me again. I've seen her before about a year ago. And what I do when I see those kind of channels is I will go and look at how many, just go to like all their videos, and you can see the pattern where they were like, oh, wow, hate pays. But she's done 2 videos with Christopher Bosey. And one of them is about him. Oh, gosh, I can't remember. One was about him, like, who is this guy? And the other one is more or less accusing him of being the shady character. So, yeah, it was illuminating. It was eye-opening. And like I say, I've seen this person before, and I noticed that in the year or more since I saw her the first time, that she's still up to the old tricks, except for now there is a illegal fund. Now they have a legal fund. I don't think their audience is big enough where that's warranted. But this person actually has a video, and the video is still running, where it accuses Meghan of carrying a doll, of all things. Yeah, when I say I went back. And that video, which is from the height of the pandemic, she still has the video up accusing Meghan of carrying a doll. So that just lets me know this is not a person who is serious. This is a person who is using every trope, weaponizing every trope against the Sussexes. So it's really disgusting. It is a disgusting way to do things, and I can see why somebody like that would try to keep a legal fund if that is where the money is going. So how would we ever know? But again, I have to say, she claims that there's a full accounting of everything that has been brought. But I just couldn't imagine myself saying to people, you know what, send me some money just in case one of the channels gets in trouble. And then that way we could use that money. See, I can't say it with a straight face. Okay, let me try it again. Y'all send me some money, and I'm going to put it into an account, and then I'm going to hold on to that money. So just in case one of us smaller channels get in trouble, that we will have the money so we can retain a lawyer. Just send me the money. That's the important thing, is you got to send me that money. You got to let me open up a bank account so I can put that money in the account. So just in case something happens, I won't ask you at that time to help me get a lawyer. I'm going to have the money in an account. I'll open up the account and I'm going to put the money in the account. So y'all send me that money and I will hold it, all $11,000-$12,000 of it, just in case one of the channels, my own or a smaller channel or whatever, just in case one of the channels are affected by bot sentinel or some other dark force, we will have that money in an account. We are going to have that money in an account. At this point, it's about, I'm claiming 10 or 11, $12,000 of money. So I'm going to hold on to it. Nobody else. And if something happens, then we'll have the money. If nothing happens, we still have the money. Oh man, you can't make that up, can you? I mean, now you can see why I said I went into the darkness. I had to go into that in order, and I think that was one of the, and you guys, please, I'm not encouraging you to go to whoever you think it is, but I'm just saying that that's what I saw. When I saw Christopher Bosey, I had to know. And that is what I found. So, again, I thought it was such a good idea that I'm going to open up an account of my own and I'm going to hold the money just in case, not just for myself, but for one of the other channels. So at least we'll have it. You know what I'm saying? Woo! Baby, you cannot make this stuff up. And she was serious. Now, I can't accuse anybody of anything. I won't do that because then I'll be putting myself at risk. But I'm just saying, I thought it to be rather strange. I'm just like, wait a minute. So they'll send you the money and you'll hold on to it. If you, excuse me, you know what I think this requires? I think somebody needs to call.
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
I think somebody need to call the popo because something is rotten in the land of cotton. That just don't sound right to me. Kathy A., thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Now, I was just kidding about the legal fund, just so we're clear. I was kidding about a legal fund. I'm not going to... I'm not going to put this in an account somewhere just in case one of the channels is attacked by bot sentinel or something like that, just so we're clear. But thank you so much, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. But yeah, you guys, every so often I have peered into the eyes of the abyss, the monsters, and it's and that people, oh man, that people believe stuff like that. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the whole thing that Archie is a doll. Oh, that makes me sick on my stomach. I just hate that. I hate that. That is, to me, it's a way to degrade and dehumanize a child. I mean, wasn't it enough when he was compared to a chimpanzee? Sight unseen at that, but wasn't it enough that he was compared to a chimpanzee? Then you have people saying that he doesn't exist at all. And then there was another one where she was saying, well, you know what? I'm not even going to say what she was saying because it's so disturbing. But that person, has a platform. That person has a platform. Very, very, very disturbing. So yeah, it was more than I had bargained for. But again, I'm kind of glad I saw that, because at least you know the ways of the enemy, and that's the only way you can defeat the enemy, is to know the ways of the enemy. So that was that, you guys. But that's why I say it's so important to protect your mental health. That is so important. Um, there were a couple of people, in the early days of Royal Sussex that said some negative, nasty things to me. And I didn't even argue with them. I just, you know, dismissed them from the channel. But, even in this position, you're just not really safe from that kind of stuff. So I could imagine what it must be like for some other people on platforms, and also, for the Sussexes too. I mean, it's just, um, words can hurt. Words can hurt, especially depending on the platform in which people are using the words. And I don't know if there's any platform bigger than the Daily Fail and all of the infrastructure that they have created with those tabloids, but um, it can cause people a lot of pain. It can even cause people to lose their lives. It can cost someone their unborn child. And whatever they say, whatever they do, I still will never get past, because there's no way to undo that damage. I will never be able to look past that. What if the royals want to apologize, if William wants to apologize, you can't look past the loss of an unborn child. And I contribute that loss to that institution, to that family, to those tabloids. I blame them for that. I blame them for that. And they even had the nerves to run those photos of the Sussexes leaving that particular office building that day. And I never shared those photos because I didn't think it was right. I never shared those photos. But I think we know why they were there. And we know how they got there. We know what was at play at the time that happened. And even at the worst moment for them, there's someone selling a photo to the tabloid. So whatever I say, whatever I, make conversation about, trust me when I say this, at the root of it, I'm still thinking about a lot of things. I consider a lot of things. And that unborn child is one that I'm definitely not going to let go of, because that was unnecessary, and it was avoidable, but for the fact that they would not leave the Sussexes alone. They would not leave them alone. And I'll say one more thing too about that situation, and how it had like I guess, a splinter effect, because all of the things that Harry and Meghan were hoping to do to put their lives together once they left that institution, all of that was sidetracked, because they knew how big they wanted their family to be, right? But because that happened, then that pushed everything further down the line. Just like when the Queen died, the whole fall rollout was put on hold because of that family and that institution. And what happened to the unborn child delayed a lot of things that they had planned for themselves, because they had to grieve and process that situation. And they were able to do it quietly and discreetly, definitely away from the cameras. We didn't know about it. So it's a lot to be to hold them accountable for, the tabloids, the institution, whoever, the Queen, anybody that had anything to do with that. There's a lot to hold them accountable for. And like I say, I'm not going to ever forget that. I'm not going to forgive that one. I'm not going to forget that one. It really, and you know they're not sorry. You just know that it does not affect them, not the reporters, not the family, not Kensington Palace. It does not affect them what they did to the Sussexes. That has no effect on them. They were probably high-fiving and cheering and smoking cigars and everything, very pleased with what they had done. So, yeah, Mercedes Todd, exactly. Exactly. That's what it is to me. And, you know, my calm demeanor really hides what I feel about that. But I'm not going to forget that one. That one is just one that, and I guess seeing this lunatic talking about calling a child a doll kind of woke that feeling up in me again. I'm just like, oh, what a pig. You know, when I saw that woke up that feeling that I had about that situation. I'm just like, how much do they have to pay? How much do they have to lose? How much pain do they have to endure before this stops? But as Harry said, it doesn't stop. And that's what I love about this lawsuit, is because if you know that you cannot you know, depend on their goodwill to stop trying to harm you, then you have to fight back. And if you use the courts to fight back, then you use the courts. That's what they're there for. So I totally agree with them, and I applaud the Sussexes, Elton John, David Furnish, Liz Hurley, and was it Doreen Lawrence? I applaud them for fighting back. Thank God they are. And I think that they will help a lot of people. Yeah, Mary H. They're heartless. They really are heartless. And Harry and Meghan went and faced that evil for the sake of paying respect to the Queen, and then they left. And they had to come back once again, having had their lives put on hold because of that family. So I hope that that's the last of that being put on hold for a long time. I imagine that Harry would probably feel obliged to pay respects to whoever else in the family. Hopefully not the U-boat captain, because she ain't looking good either. But the U-boat captain. But yeah, so that's what I have to say about that. But we're not going to let certain things go. I never want to give the impression that we are going to let that go, because that is not possible. That is just not possible. Yep. And after all, I mean, I am still a Scorpio. At the end of the day, I am a Scorpio. And you know, Scorpios never forget. Scorpios only try to figure out exactly how they're going to get even. So, oh man. So, you guys, I have bent your ears long enough. And I appreciate you all hanging out with me and allowing me to express myself on this platform. And again, as always, trusting me to do this work on this platform. Let me see. Yeah, the whole thing about the doll. Oh my God, does that make me? That makes me just. You know, I hadn't heard it in so long, and then I said, well, let me see how they justify this. And it was so like ridiculous and so conspiratorial, right? And it's one thing when, you have these conspiracies about an adult, but a child, we're really talking about children like that. I think that in comparison, more people in the squad, I would dare say, I'm just going to say everybody in the squad are quietly hoping and praying for the other children in that family that they don't that they're not turned into monsters, right? That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're praying for. And I really do believe that as far as the squad is concerned, we're not plotting against someone's child, but their supporters, even though this is a minority of the society, but their supporters actively plot against the Sussex children. They actively, they say it out loud by using social media to plot against those children. And there's no equivalent of that anywhere in the Sussex squad. It just doesn't exist. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. It does not exist. I'm just going to say it does not exist. But there is no consideration for the Cambridge children amongst, I would say, I don't know, thousands of people that follow the hate channels, whether it's the Australian news, whether it's the British news, and sadly, even in the United States, our news. They don't see those children as human. Yep, they don't see those children as human. So, no, Joan Garcia, I'm not surprised. I'm just, I guess, seeing the what they call a rationale for it, seeing how they reason it out. I've never actually read comments about the children from the comment section. I've seen where people have posted on Twitter. I've seen those comments from those white supremacists in the UK and everything. But just like you guys are commenting in the chat right now, one after the other, I have not seen one after the other where people are trying to explain away the existence of someone's child. That I haven't seen before. I haven't seen that before. So it's a big difference in seeing it here and there, which is awful. But to see, like, oh, let's say that video has 500 comments, 600 comments. To see 500 to 600 comments of everybody agreeing, yeah, that's not a real child. No, that's a doll. Oh, the hand was tied in a position. That didn't look natural. That took me back. So it's like, let's say it's a lynch mob and you're on the menu. And 1 minute you're in your bed sleep. And the next moment you got a whole bunch of people dragging you out to the town square so that they can humiliate you. And then they're going to kill you. That's my reaction to seeing line after line of people justifying the non-existence or questioning the existence of somebody's child. Yeah, I haven't seen that before. That I haven't seen. Yeah, Lydia, I was, like I said, I looked at it, and I'm just like, okay, this is. I looked at two of them about Christopher, and then I saw the one about the doll, and I'm just like, and then I as I'm going through it, I'm just like, let me see if I was hoping that there might be a squatty that I recognize or somebody countering this narrative, but it wasn't. One after the other, hundreds, I don't know, maybe 300 comments, and it was all more of the same. It was all more of the same. Nobody said, y'all, we shouldn't talk like this. Well, you're not, It was none of that. It was like a very complicit lynch mob. Very matter of fact. Somebody said it, therefore it must be true. Nope, never saw that before, especially about somebody's child, about a child. And that's why I said, and she still has that video up and running. You would think that per St. Botno and all that they would have taken it down. It is pride of place. It is pride of place. That is the Ming boss in her home. Pride of place. So, yep, that was a new kind of disturbing. Yep, that was a new kind of disturbing. I don't know how to process that one. So when Meghan says, why would I want him to have a picture of my child? Excuse me, let me drink some water. Okay, so when Meghan says, why would I want him to have a picture of my child, since, they use the N-word on my child, I can't help but think that some of the hate mail and stuff that they've received is probably so much worse than anything I could imagine. I can only think that whatever hate mail they received is probably like 1,000 times worse than my most broad imagination could come up with. So, yeah, that is disturbing to me. Very much disturbing. This is not surprising. Reality Someone's Day. Thank you for your comment. Let me see here. How these Meghan hate channels can continue to spew hate against Meghan. Money. Money, money, money. That is the root of it. 90, 110,000 views for hate. That's why. It's big money. And you don't even have to be clever. You don't have to sing or edit videos or anything like that. They don't even bother to do that. They ain't gonna sing. All they do is just put it out there. It's nothing clever about it. It's nothing clever about it. They just do it, and it works. You can be like some old broke down, bubble-headed antique dealer one day, and then a darling of the right wing the next. And from listening to that person, you could tell that there is some education there. There is some education there, but none of that means anything when you can perpetuate hate for money. You can perpetuate hate for money. And so whatever education that person has, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is the hate. What matters is perpetuating white supremacy. That seems to be the more important part of their platform, is let's see how much hate we can perpetuate. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's what's brought us together. So if there's anything that is positive about what has happened, is that is united some very like-minded people, unfortunately, but it is true. It has united a lot of like-minded people for a cause, and um, I've never like had any platform like this before. I'm not so well equipped for doing this, the technical parts of it. I'm not a millennial, so I had to learn a lot to get this far, but um, it was nice to challenge myself. I'll tell you that. It has been a challenge. Thank you, young DK out. I appreciate that. Um, I will keep that in mind. I will keep that in mind that their day is coming. And I do believe that. I think that we're seeing like the genesis of that change right now is what's happening with media. Claudia Blanco, yeah, if they were that smart, they wouldn't talk the way they do, would they? They would not talk the way they do. Because hate is lazy. Hate is really lazy. Hate is the most primal of our behavior is hate. It is the most primal. Huh, okay. Yeah, Marsha, that is something to remember. Cardi B did win that money from Tasha K. She did win that money. She didn't have to open up a bank account and she didn't have to open up a bank account just in case something happens, right? Maybe Tasha K should have done that. Maybe she should have opened up a bank account just in case something happens. I think even if she did, she'd need more than that, what, 10, 11, $12,000. That's for sure. Thank you, Connie Balmer. I appreciate that. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Okay, you guys. I appreciate this therapeutic session we just had, but I need to call back because I have to take custody of someone's dog for the weekend. I'll send you guys. Well, I'll share you. Well, I think I've shared her photos before, but I'll share some photos of my house guest. She is so sweet, and she just adores me. And I went to the store last night, and I got a bag of the bagel strips, whatever they are, bacon strips. I got her some of those. I feed her way too many, but every time she goes out for a poop, she expects a treat. So. But I don't make it easy for her. What I do is I'll send her into the bedroom, and then I go around the house and I spread them around so she can hunt for them. So that helps to keep her little mind sharp. So much fun. Yeah. But yeah, she adores me. She always cries when she has to leave. I'm just kidding. She runs. And this is going to force me to get some exercise. I wonder if would it be offensive if I ever stood in one of those walkabouts and when she comes past, I just kind of offer my hand with a sugar cube? You think that would be out of line? Instead of like shaking her hand, I just kind of open up my palm and show that sugar cube. Here you go, Camilla. Instead of Wilbur. Hi, Camilla. And just offer her that sugar cube. Hi, Camilla. Wait. Okay. I knew you were going to get a song out of me. It was just a matter of time. Oh. Horse is a horse, of course. Oh, man. A horse is a horse, of course. I never knew the rest of that song. Yeah, but a horse is a horse, of course. Something like that, Mr. Ed. Okay. But anyway, let me get rid of that. All right, you guys. I think we're good. Anybody else? Any last thoughts? Any questions for me? Well, thank you, Lydia Washington. Appreciate that. Oh, man. Okay, we're good then. Connie Bomber, thank you for staying up late. Appreciate it. What else? Thank you, Sherry Ware. I thought it kind of got different toward the end, but maybe that was a good different. Yeah. And yeah, I need to go through my history too and make sure I eliminated all of that trash off of my account. That is very important because, the other thing is if you watch any of that stuff, it also, what do you call it? Refers it to other accounts. It refers it to other people. So I quickly deleted those from the history. But I can't unsee it. And now I know that the fight is real. The fight is definitely real. Okay. Insulate that Archie. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let me make that bigger so I can see it. It's galls me that they insinuate rather, that Archie is a chimp. That's unforgivable, period. Yeah, it is. It is. Could not be happy for a moment. They could not let the Sussexes be happy for a moment. Isn't that something? Not even for a moment. Just so there's no confusion, you are not allowed to be happy. Now be grateful for the wedding and go back to your servants' quarters. Right? That's pretty much was the attitude at the time, was be grateful for the wedding, even though we know you didn't want a big wedding. We forced you to have a big wedding so that, we can sell a few things. And then after that, just go back to your servants' quarters. That is pretty much the way it worked. Claudia Blanco says, Baron, their attempt to dehumanize Meghan only dehumanized themselves. You help keep Meghan alive with simply giving support for her existence. Yeah, there was the attempt to dehumanize, but I can't tell you guys that I am so pleased to see that as they tried to turn Meghan into a monster, and yet she was the one being attacked during the Queen's funeral. They couldn't even take a day off from attacking the Sussexes to show their respect for the Queen. They couldn't even take that day off. They were just like, yeah, but we got work to do. Yeah, we got work to do. We got to take them down. So that was the way they got through the, especially, I tell you, all right. So the thing with the kids is one thing. The unborn child, that's another one that's the worst of the worst. But then, of course, there's Ford Fiesta with that scowl. Oh my God, that scowl. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking about that scowl, but trust me, if I thought, that's all I can say. If I thought, and I'm done with that. But that scowl, other stuff kind of makes me angry, sad, but that one just made me angry. That is not a sad and angry. That's just angry. 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 No sadness with that one. You know, some sads come with anger. Some anger comes with sad. But that scowl, that was just my emotion with that is just anger. Yep. There's a few other just angries, but that one is just anger. I don't have any, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't just make me sad and angry. It's just I'm angry about that. That I when I close my eyes, it's like I just looked into a bright light. I can still see it on my corneas, right? I close my eyes and the imprint is still there. So that one made me angry, among other things. So yeah. Yeah, you guys, I know I seem like such a goody two shoe. I know I seem like such a goody two shoe, but trust me, there are certain parts of my heart that is just like other people, just like anybody else in certain situations. I just don't make it so obvious. Yeah, I'm not Fred Rogers. This is not Fred Rogers' neighborhood. There are some things where I can just like I could taste the stain in the air. So, and so in order to let those feelings out, sometimes I start making memes and making videos and stuff like that. You understand where I'm coming from? That's how I deal with some of those things is I make videos. But otherwise, if it wasn't for the videos, I just don't know how I would deal with these things. So I think you understand. Ah, I think you get where I'm coming from. I think y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah. So, anyway, while we still have a channel, I'm going to say goodnight to B10 Pal. I'm going to say goodnight to all of you all. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself and just make videos. How about that? It's better that way. Let me see. Yep, yep, that's true. That's true. All right, you guys. Let me see here. Oh, thank you, Sherry and Sade. You get me. You understand me. uh, yeah, Sharian. Now, I know sometimes I have a somewhat clean cut image, but I could imagine that if there was like another side of your personality, oh boy, I would I wouldn't want to be around for it. I could just imagine. I'm just saying if there is. I'm not saying there is, but if there is some other side to your personality, is and that's what happens when people are just really super nice and sweet and considerate. Those are the worst people to rub the wrong way. Those are the worst people. Oh man. Right, Adrian Burrow. No bad energy. Thank you for bringing it back to. Thank you for clicking on my channel. Sherry, you know I've been working on it, right? Thank you for clicking on my channel. I love that. Okay, but oh yeah, and by the way, Sherry, thank you for clicking on my channel. Mm-hmm. Oh, Sherry Ware, come on now, Sherry Ware, loving, considerate Sherry Ware. I don't want to think about it. I just don't want to think about it. Please, no, I can't take it. Oh man. I just don't want to think about it. I can't. No, please stop. Oh man. Okay. All right, you guys. I think now is I know it. What's another 15 minutes? It's another 15 minutes, so that's where I'm fixing to go. Oh, Pam Porter, thank you so much for that. Baron, you keep doing it all. Let me see. The live is a must join daily. The videos always entertain. Yeah, I want to do a few of the edits though. Have some fun with that. Okay. All right, so we're good. All right, so everybody say goodnight, Gracie, and I will see you all tomorrow. So on a 3, 1, a 2, and a 3. Good night, Gracie. I'm showing my age. Okay, I haven't seen one Gracie. When I see the first Gracie, I'm going to end broadcast. And there we go. Connie Balmer. Good night, Grace. Close enough. All right, see y'all.